Hi everyone, I'm Father Paul Ritt, and I'm here today with Father Francis Barcanado, who is a member of the African Mission Fathers. He's here in the Lynnfield Catholic Collaborative for the month of August, and we want to learn more about Father Francis. So, welcome, Father Francis.
Thank you.
Would you begin by telling us something about where you grew up and your family background? I think people would be very interested to learn about that.
I am very grateful for the welcome that I enjoy here in Lynnfield Collaborative. I'm from the Republic of Central Africa, CAR, right in the middle of the continent. Like if you take the map of Africa and you try to draw a cross, right in the middle of the cross there's a country. It's a landlocked country, surrounded by the two Congos, by Chad, by the two Sudans, and by Cameroon, right in the middle. This is my home country. And it's a friendly, welcoming country. The people, they are very open. And in our country, we became independent in 1960. We were part of the French colony of the equatorial part of Africa. Then we have a democratical government, but right from our independence till the date, things are not so well. But my family background is I grew up in a Protestant family. My dad married my mom. He was very young, 20 years old, and our people, but we don't see difference because people live together in the same family. You'll find a Catholic, a Protestant, people who do not go to church, and some also Muslim. They are in the same family. Who we grew up together. There is no problem. My dad was appointed as the principal of a Catholic school. We don't know why, but there are Catholic teachers in the environment, but they appointed my dad. So we grew up in the Catholic environment, having the minor seminary, the church, the sisters, the convent. So and we grew up living like the rhythm of the seminary. When they ring the bell in the seminary, our dad asked us to go and study because in the seminary they are studying. When they are praying, we pray. When they are doing sport, we go to join them to play sport. So and this, and the sisters and the priests in my parish, they are Holy Ghost Father, we call it Spirit. But there's something very specific about them. They master our language, the local language.
Which is
Sango.
Okay.
Spoken in all the country. Everybody speaks Sango, that's the national language. But various areas, they have their own vernacular that they speak. So this Holy Ghost Father, they master our language, our culture. And they go on visitation, home visitation. Catholics, non-Catholic, they visit everybody. When someone is sick, the parish mission is our ambulance. Like you go to my dad is sick, they will come to rush your father to the hospital. And this is how we know. Then I begin to say, I want to be like them.
So they had a remarkable pastoral outreach to all of the people.
Then I say, I want to be like them. Then I asked my dad, I want to join them. My mom was my secret friend, she was helping me a lot on the ground. I said, okay, one day you should tell your father what you want to do. Then I asked my dad, I faced him, and he said, okay, you do whatever you like. Then, but because I was not baptized as a baby, I have to go through the catechism class as a grown-up kid. Then I was baptized like 10, 11 years old. Then I wrote the exam to go to the seminary. The first year I failed. I was not intelligent enough. The second year I passed, and this is how I entered the minor seminary in the age of 13.
So you persevered. You really heard God calling you through all of those developments.
It was coming, but I did not really know exactly, but there was something in me. I said I wanted to become a priest because my mom, she was sick. Then the day I entered the seminary, she asked me if I really want to become a priest. And I said yes, but she said if you want to deceive yourself, you better go to the public school. I told her I want to become a priest. She gave me a necklace. And 25 days after she passed on, I was the minor seminary, so I was very attached to her. But I lost that necklace. And a friend in the seminary told me that it is my mom that came and removed the necklace so that I can grow, because I was not growing. I was mourning, I was in the bad shape, the bad mood all the time. I missed her so much, but I think I've grown a bit since then.
Wonderful, wonderful. So she helped you in your grieving process.
And in my family, we are 8 siblings, 2 sisters and 6 boys. We all cook because our daddy doesn't want our mom or the girls only to be doing home things. So everything, cleaning, cooking, all of us, we cook in the house.
Francis, I am a diocesan priest, which means we serve the people of God in a particular portion of God's people in a diocese. You chose an order, a religious order, the African Mission Fathers. Why did you choose that? Was it the Holy Ghost Fathers' influence on you, would you say? They really impressed you with their pastoral care and zeal? How did you make that decision?
You know, we have a minor seminary in my home village, and we see all these seminarians. They come, it's like academic or structure. They come for the year, and they come and they do 4 years and they go on. So when I joined the seminary, that time I did not know anything about this is a missionary life, this is a diocesan. It is the process on. From minor seminary, I graduated, I went to major seminary and major seminary.
And where was that?
In my home in Bangui.
Okay.
So in Bangui, in the major seminary, I realized that I was receiving a calling to be a missionary priest, meaning that I will serve God going out of my own territory, my own country, my own village, to be like those who have come to bring the gospel to our homeland. They are not from my country. Then I did not want to go far from Africa. I didn't want to feel that I'm very far away. So I was looking for a community, a missionary group that will serve in Africa. Then the community, for me, that fits with that at that time, it was the SMA Fathers. We came in Central Africa in the 1977, September 1977. Today, like 41 years that they're in Central Africa. But the great impact they have in seminary, in the liturgy, in the country, and all this. So we easily interact with them. Then I say, that's what I want to do. Then I asked my bishop, I want to become a missionary. Then said, okay, you go where you feel called. This is how I joined the SMA, and I continued my formation to become an SMA priest. And we have SMA priests in America, in New Jersey, and in Dedham here in Boston.
And close to home too, in Africa.
Yes.
And speaking of that, Francis, you are now a leader or superior of your SMA community in your own country.
Yes.
And tell us the story of how you wound up in that position and some of the challenges that you're facing right now.
Well, we have what we call a specific service. We have the administration, and we have the normal, like a parish life. All this we have it in the SMA. We receive the training accordingly. Then, we have a kind of consultation that comes from our superiors in Rome, that they want to have a unit, an entity for Central Africa. Then they consulted with all the conference working in Central Africa and those who are from Central African origin. Then they just contacted me one day that my name is coming up, so if I consider leaving the parish assignment to go to do the administration, then I say yes, if this is what they want. It's a 3 years time, you can renew it once, that's all. Then you move on, you go back to the parish assignment or anywhere they want you to go. And this is how I come to be the leader of the SMAs working in Central Africa, and the SMA from Central African origin.
And you've been a priest now for 18 years.
Yeah, I was ordained in July 2000. We called ourselves the Jubilee Set.
Oh, you're a Jubilee priest. Very good. So, Francis, missionaries traditionally can face persecution. They go preaching the gospel, celebrating the sacraments, living the good news and inviting others to join them. You have some particular challenges, don't you, in the Republic of Central Africa? Tell us about some of those.
We are currently experiencing some very difficult situation in the country. It's like every 10 years or 9 years, every end of the term in the government in my country, there is a political challenges, and it ends up with many people killed, many property destroyed. So we know that every time that there is a government that is at the end, then there will be something happening, something bad. But in 2013, there was a military coup that took place. Also, then people, we are fed up. People are fed up with maybe the way, the economy, the management of what we have, the natural resources. Then they believe it's the same thing that will come and go, and stability will come back. But since 2013 to today, that crisis continues, which means you can imagine the number of people killed, assassinated, houses burned down, looted, and all these things. So, and we don't know. We have the peacekeeper that come to rescue, but it continues. The killing, the assassination, the killing continues. Maybe you might have heard that a vicar general was murdered in the bishop house one evening last month. On the 1st of May, a priest was shot in the church celebrating for St. Joseph people, and they threw grenade, and like 16 died, and the priest, but many died later from wounds and so many people also, not only priests, any people, then we don't know really. The country seems to be out of the control because you need to have your own army that can secure your territory, your country, which we don't have. So they say they are going to build a new military, they're very strong, but when will they do that the population can feel safe? So we feel insecure in our home country. There are many people, as I'm talking to you, there are many people who are living as displaced people in another location. They are not in their home because there is no home. The home is gone, it's destroyed, or it's no more safe. And the cohesion that we used to enjoy, the peaceful living together, people from different faiths living together, it has been really hindered by a kind of hidden agenda we don't really know, that is putting our religious people, community against one and against another.
I was going to ask that. Tell us a little bit about the relationship among the religions, Christians, Muslims. Is that also adding to the kind of the violence, the conflicts, the turmoil in your country?
It is a new development that is changing really things, and we are very worried. As a Central African, the peaceful people, we know each other in the family. We have your brother, maybe who is a Muslim, your sister who is in this religion, but now there is a shift. Then we don't understand because this is not our way of life. Like this, putting because of your religion, then you are not the one against the other. It is something new. We don't know. Now, anything happen, there are tendency of saying that there is a clash between the Muslim and the Christian. The Muslim and the Christian, this is what but it is not. There is a group, the rebels group, they call the Seleka. That is a faction of people who are practicing Islam from Central Africa, and Muslim men from Sudan and from Chad. They are all in Central Africa, and Christians, they are people who do not go to church, but they are wearing this something like, we call it grigri, and sometimes it can be a rosary. I think anything not for protection,
symbol of their Christian faith.
Protection,
Yes.
faith. Then when they bring all this together, it's a chaotic environment. So because of that, the cardinal, Dieudonné Zapalainga, the imam, Layama Kobin and the representative of the Protestant Church, Reverend Nicholas. They've been going around. They came to America to talk about peace. We have peace with people who live in harmony. They visit each other. They have this forum for the religious leaders in Central Africa. We love them. We appreciate what they are doing. But what is happening is beyond they do all they can, but we don't know this is a kind of an hidden agenda. That is what is very worrisome for us. And the anger, the violence continue to grow. You see people who are so peaceful, joyful, now they are very traumatized. And we see that in very little, the children to grown people. There is no future. We don't know. In some part of the country till today, there is no school. Because rebels, they use the school as the place where, it's a very dangerous, risky to go there. But we want peace, just peace, and everybody will be happy and we live. That is our very challenge.
It must take a lot of courage and a lot of wisdom from above.
Yes.
In order to minister in such a situation. People are traumatized, there's so much conflict, people I'm sure are afraid, fearful of what's happening around them. It must take incredible courage and wisdom in order to serve people in such a situation.
We are not afraid because home is home. This is the home we are blessed with the natural resources, gold, diamonds, petrol, all these things. We have it we are blessed with all this. But the way we are living, I remember Kofi Annan, when he visited my home country during the turmoil with Patase, it's late now. After his visit to Central Africa, he said that the people of Central Africa, they are poor. They live in misery. But Central African Republic is not a poor country. He knows what he's talking about.
He is the former UN General Secretary.
Kofi Annan.
Yes.
So we live, despite the trauma in the country, people of faith, they have great faith. They continue to practice their faith joyfully. Like today, you will see procession in the churches for this feast of the Assumption, and then Christmas will come. But it's no more like before even in the evening, the night, but now you don't feel secure. Rapes of girls, mother, married women being raped, you don't hear that. But this is what our people, our sisters, our mothers are experiencing, and it's
a reminder of that saying, the blood of martyrs is the seed of faith.
Exactly.
It's remarkable how the church, when it's undergoing persecution, can actually flourish.
We continue to pray that God help us to find a way, the roads that leads to peace, lasting peace. That's the only thing. Without peace, we cannot do anything. And when they assassinated the Vicar General of the Diocese of Bambari, Bishop Nestor came out publicly and he said on the radio, it is not through violence, it's not through assassination that will bring peace, that will build our beloved country. It is not.
Absolutely.
The way,
So, you're here now in the United States, and you've spent the summer you were in Weymouth and Braintree in the month of July, and now in Lynnfield during the month of August. You've been here before. So what are your impressions of the United States as you look back now on your experience?
Wow. The first time I came, I was impressed to see that in the city they have trees. Because me as an African, when you want to build the city, you knock down all the nature. You bring down trees and now they build home. I come here, I was amazed to discover the trees, waters in the spots in Boston, the Massachusetts, and even in the heart of New York, this huge park, the trees. I say, wow. The community, the faith. America is a land of faith, of great faith. I know, going around, I see on some houses, churches founded, 1853, this homes 1636. I said, which means that people have been in this long tradition of it since that time, even beyond that. We became a country around the 1960. We have a very young tradition of church. Even the church was there in 1884, going that the Holy Ghost they came, so we celebrated the 100th anniversary. But I bow with respect because of the tradition of faith, the legacy. We received faith through people, missionaries from America, from Europe, who came to Africa. That now we come here with what we have received, and so it is with joy that I come to share my faith story to everybody. So we are the legacy of what you did, what your fathers did. Some came physically. When you look at our necrology, they died very young. At the age of 27, missionary priests in Africa died from Ireland, from America, from this. They came. There was a yellow fever, malaria, but they were coming. 5 years, 10 years, they're gone, but they keep coming. And today we are priests, and we come here after. So it is with respect, and I'm very amazed when I see the church here. It's not the same reality in Africa. We are the growing population, and the population from here is coming down. So we don't compare that. But I discovered also there's a life in the community here in Lynnfield. And all the activities, all the women's group, this group, the prayers group, the walking group, it's amazing.
Yes.
I'm very delighted.
So what would you, advise Catholics in the United States to think about and pray about? We're dealing here with a secular culture. Sometimes I sense almost a secular stranglehold on our church and our mission. So what advice would you give us? You're coming from a very different environment, obviously, but I think you're very observant, Francis, and you're very. I think you have some wise counsel to offer us. So what would you say?
The only thing maybe that I may say is that there is, as the Pope Francis said it 2 days or 3 days ago to the youngster that he met in Rome, and the delegation from Panama, that the church needs the youth. The church needs this, creativity, the spirit of the youth, and I'm looking forward to seeing more youth being involved in daily activities in the church here, in our church here. And that's because this is the future. This is also the present of the church also, and the future, the youth. If we really, they find a way that you don't only go to Mass on Sunday or your family take you there, but be committed, know the reason, and a personal relationship with your God as a youngster, as a very grown-up, that can bring about a change, that then our church will be vibrant like it used to be. And this is a prayer, it's a hope. Who knows?
I think America has, through our missionaries, our dedicated missionaries, has really brought the faith to many parts of the world, including Africa.
Yeah.
But we've also exported our culture. So what in our culture, whether it's entertainment or sports or food or, what, kind of do you enjoy in your stay in the United States?
Let me just allow me to say something about Central Africa and the States.
Sure.
We used to be champion of Africa in basketball.
In basketball?
Africa, every country, it is always about soccer. The Nigerian team, the Cote d'Ivoire teams, all these very big stars, they are all in Europe. You can see that from the World Cup that France won, most of them,
sure,
they are from Africa. But in my home country, we are inclined to being more in the basketball. I don't know why. So you go to Central Africa, you by the mango tree, there's a hook there. People we love basketball, and I think we are very delighted with the NBA. We copy something from the NBA here. Funny, I don't know why, but it's very surprising to everybody. Anyway, I must confess that we never defeat any on the country with soccer in Africa. Only tournaments they defeat Central Africa. We are not very talented, gifted with the soccer. I admit that. But basketball, if not of the trauma in the country, we could have been and remained the top for Africa in basketball. And almost entertainment, the youngsters, they like imitating all this American.
Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Steph Curry, all of our...
English is a problem, but it doesn't... We culture mix. Sometimes we go beyond the language that you can speak, but they connect. Because it's that everything is not verbal. Something that's non-verbal. So non-verbal communication good is there as well. So there's a connection between America and Africa. And the food, we are different. You have your own... raising here your food because of their continent, and we are in the forest, the deep of the African forest, so our food, the flavor, and the what we grow, everything is different. So but the culture we meet as a missionary, we say what we call you have the missionary mouth. It means wherever you go, you eat whatever you find. You don't eat what makes you sick. As I told you, like pineapple is not good for me. I have allergy. So wherever I go, the first thing I say is not to embarrass you that anything with pineapple is not good for me. But apart from whatever you eat, I eat. What doesn't make you sick, I think, this is a missionary and we grow in that.
What do your taste buds like about American food? What's your favorite American food? And what do you miss? What do your taste buds miss from Africa?
That's the American food. I enjoy the seafood, most especially lobster. And ice cream, ice cream, I don't know, but this is my sin that I must confess. I love ice cream.
It's your weakness.
I love ice cream.
Okay.
I'm delighted with home. The food is it's a bit different, but I'm not spicy, but I avoid red meat, but we eat a lot of vegetables from the forest, and it's the nature. We are blessed with the nature in Central Africa. Like every 3 months, there's something new that Mother Nature gives us.
Beautiful.
Like maize, banana, mango, potatoes, and all these things in the forest, the yam, and all these things. And some that you can have is mushroom. And it's there, but the way the instability is coming, farmers stop going to farm, which means there is less in the market, which means there are more people who will be starving because we don't have enough. That will bring an imbalance that the Cardinal has been warning about, that farmers are not farming because of the situation, so there will be a famine in the country. That is there. It's
There'll be a ripple effect.
Fishermen are not going fishing because of the insecurity, which means we will have less and less natural products on the market for the consumption.
Right.
We are worried.
Oh my goodness, there are multiple challenges because of the political situation that continues to unfold there.
We really need peace in my home country. Peace.
Okay, do you have a final message, a word for our viewers, our listeners about your experience here, your life as a missionary priest? Anything in particular you want to say to our people here today?
I am blessed to visit America. It's a privilege because anyway, it can be anybody else appointed to come here. But coming here, the little time that I spent with the community here in the Archdiocese of Boston, I'm overwhelmed with the richness of the relationship between the pastor and the congregation, and the way people see me. There is a message, a word from Jesus Christ that whoever leaves father, mother, sister, and goes will have 100-fold. This is my experience. Wherever I've been cherished, I've been loved, and I've found people who receive me. I feel at home here in America. And I say it, I don't miss home, my mother's no pot, no. Here I feel at home because I feel welcome as a priest, as a human being, and that is something I must say. I'm very grateful to the people of America. The prayerful community is not the packed churches like in Africa, but people committed that the morning people, God's people are there. As I used to tell you during Mass, morning Mass, when it rains, the weather is not good, they are there. This is the community, this is the church, and we are together. And I'm very, very blessed. And I thank you for welcoming me. I feel very safe at home here. I'm very grateful to you, Father.
We are very blessed to have you in our midst, serving us during the month of August. Father Francis, thank you so much for enjoying our time with us, serving us. You're going to Maine, I know, for a lobster dinner tomorrow. So
Wow.
I hope that will lift your spirits as well. But
It will have more, yeah.
it's been a joy having you with us. Continued blessings to you and your ministry, and thank you for this interview.
Thank you. God bless you.
God bless. Thank you.
God bless.